I went mythic and constructed with some very budget decks. I'm going to show them to you right now. That's right. Welcome to the Attic Mana Dad here. This is the channel where we play what's good in Magic, mostly on Arena. Not actually going to do any gameplay today. I'm just going to show you some decks. That seems to be what most people are interested in anyway. One of them is going to look very familiar if you've seen my previous decks. But yes, I did get to Mythic. This is the first time I've ever gotten to Mythic. Most of the time I kind of split my... first time I've ever gotten Mythic in Constructed, I should say. Most of the time I split my efforts between Limited and Constructed. But for whatever reason this month I just played a lot of Standard and some Explorer. And I hit on some decks that were winning and didn't really push it, but I got to Mythic. So 92%, I think that's about as low as you can be in Mythic. Maybe 93% I think I've seen. But anyways, I'll show you this decks right now. Okay, so the first deck here is Explorer, or, Pioneer Light. Before everybody was talking about this deck online, I was just encountering it with a lot of frequency on the ladder. So I was like, well, let me just build this deck and see if I can figure out, what's the best build and what it does and everything about it. So what we got here is it's your Convoke deck. We got 4 of the Knight Errant of Eos, which is the 4/4 Convoke. Then you get to pull creatures out of your library. And then a little throwback here, Venerated Loxodon, 4/4 Convoke, and it's going to buff up your team. Now, the other thing I saw people playing, Saffron Olive did a version of this deck, but he did not use this. He used the Reckless Bushwhacker, I think, which we don't have in Explorer, but the Regal Leosaur, which is both a creature and an anthem. So that's nice for you because you can grab it off the Knight Errant of Eos. So I would definitely recommend trying to maximize the number of creatures in the deck for that reason. We got just 2 of the Forbidden Friendships. I was trying to play with 4, but I ended up going with more Ornithopters. I saw some people are using Giant Killer as good 1-drop slash. It has the chop down, the instant adventure, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Take out some Shieldrids or things, big green creatures, things like that. I was running 4 of that. I trimmed it down to 3 and went up some Ornithopters. I wasn't originally running the Ornithopters, but I did keep getting Gleeful Demolition, which is a standard card here. Destroy target artifact, and you can make 3 1/1 Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens if you control the artifact, which you most usually will. So yes, I kept getting this stranded in my hand because we have 2 easy ways to make artifacts. We got the Epicure, and we've got the Thraben Inspector, which makes a clue. So adding a couple Ornithopters was good, and then also sometimes I would play the Clarion Spirit and not be able to follow up immediately. I mean, it's a huge removal target, this creature. You wouldn't think it for an uncommon. But 2/2 hits, so you can drop the Ornithopter the same turn you play it if they don't have instant speed removal, and you can at least have the 1/1 Spirit left behind. So I know a lot of these decks do play 4 Ornithopters. Maybe I'm running too many lands. I think I'm currently running 21 lands, so not a lot of lands, but there you go. So mana base, I do have a lot of rare lands, but you could do this more on a budget and not be running all these rare lands, and then your only rares would be Knight Errant of Eos and Venerated Loxodon. So that's why I say it's kind of a budget deck, really. I don't know what these cost in paper. Hopefully I'll get a deck list in the description of the video and you can go and see what it is currently costing in paper. But like otherwise, tons of uncommons, commons. I mean, this is a rare, I guess. But again, a lot of the success I was having with this deck was before I even added Giant Killer. I do think Giant Killer improves the deck. Common, uncommon, common, uncommon, common, uncommon, uncommon. So pretty fun deck there, and I used that to go through, I guess, most of Platinum up into Diamond, and then I switched over to the next deck, which is in Standard. So I made a video of this a long time ago. It's just a budget deck that was good against the meta then, which was heavily mono black and Rakdos, and of course I got Mythic before they banned Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Reckoner Bankbuster, and Invoke Despair. So this deck fought against those, and it fought against the rest of the meta, which is going to surge here. Pretty simple. This is my mono blue budget Delver. Hopefully I'll put a link to the video I already made here. I think maybe it's changed slightly since I made the video, but pretty straightforward deck, very budget. Um, Threats are 4 Delvers of Secrets, 4 Haughty Djinns, and 4 Tolarian Terrors. This is the absolutely the only rare, so it's a 4 rare wild card deck. You got 24 islands, maybe trim an island or two. Sometimes I would lose to Flooding Out. But yeah, just lots of 4-ofs. Interaction is Fading Hope. Sometimes you want to cast Slip Out the Back on your opponent's creatures, especially if they've only got 1 air blocker and you can just get in with the Haughty Djinn. I win so many times with that. You may lose some tempo doing all the bounces, but you hopefully get it back with the Thirst for Discoveries. The impulses are great for finding whatever you need, usually like a Make Disappear. I want to cast a Haughty Djinn, then my impulse is 1 mana, and I can go find a Make Disappear and counter something for 1 mana if I need to. And then the Tolarian Terrors just absolutely stop the mono red decks in their tracks. And the mono white decks too have a tough time attacking through them. So Ward 2 on those is no joke. That ranked me right up to Mythic. So thanks for joining me here in the attic. I've been Mana Dad, reminding you that Magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it. Adios.